It was a chilly October night in a small town nestled between thick woods and a winding river. The streets were empty, bathed in the pale light of the moon and the flickering streetlights. Hannah, a 22-year-old college student, had just finished a late shift at the diner. She was tired but eager to get home, looking forward to a hot cup of tea and her favorite blanket. The drive home was a familiar one. She took the same route every night, past the old cemetery and along the narrow, winding roads lined with trees. But tonight felt different. The air was heavy, and an unsettling quiet enveloped the world outside her car window. The radio played softly, a soothing background to her thoughts, but she couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. As she rounded a bend, the headlights illuminated a figure standing by the side of the road. Startled, Hannah slowed down. It was a girl, no older than 17, with long hair and a tattered jacket. She was shivering, her eyes wide with fear. Without thinking, Hannah pulled over. "Are you okay?" she called out, rolling down the window. The girl looked at her, a mix of relief and terror on her face. I need help. My friends and I were driving and we crashed. I think something's wrong." Hannah felt a rush of sympathy. "Get in. I'll take you to the nearest gas station." As the girl climbed into the passenger seat, Hannah caught a glimpse of her pale face and trembling hands. "What happened?" Hannah asked as they drove away. "We were coming from a party up on the hill. I was the only one who got out. They didn't want to leave the car." Hannah frowned. "What do you mean?" "They said they saw something. I thought they were just drunk, but then I heard it too. A growl. It was so deep and hungry. I couldn't stay." The mention of a growl sent a shiver down Hannah's spine, but she tried to remain calm. "We'll get you help," she assured the girl. But as they continued down the dark road, Hannah felt an oppressive weight in the air, as if something was watching them. After a few minutes, the girl suddenly gasped. "Stop! Stop the car!" "What? Why?" Hannah's heart raced. "Back there. I saw it." The girl was shaking, her eyes darting around. "What did you see?" Hannah pressed, her grip tightening on the steering wheel. "I don't know. Something." It was in the woods. Feeling an irrational urge to comply, Hannah pulled over. They sat in silence for a moment, the engine idling softly. The night was eerily quiet, the only sound being the faint rustle of leaves. "I'll check it out," Hannah said, although she had no idea why she would do something so reckless. "No, please don't." The girl's voice cracked with fear. But before she could protest further, Hannah opened the door and stepped out, scanning the tree line. Shadows flickered among the branches, and a cold breeze sent a chill through her. Just as she turned back to the car, she heard a low growl echoing from the woods. Hannah's heart raced as she jumped back into the car. "Did you hear that?" she asked, breathless. The girl nodded, her face pale. "We need to go. Now." But as Hannah started the engine, her headlights swept across the trees again. That's when she saw it, a hulking figure, dark and massive, lurking just beyond the tree line, its eyes gleaming like twin lanterns. "Drive!" the girl screamed, and Hannah obeyed, slamming the gas pedal. The tires screeched as they sped down the road, but the sense of safety was fleeting. "Did it follow us?" Hannah asked, glancing in the rearview mirror. The girl's expression was a mix of horror and disbelief. I don't know. I don't want to look." As they drove in silence, the tension between them grew. Hannah could feel the girl's fear suffocating the air in the car. She had to break the silence. "What's your name?" she asked, trying to ground herself. "Lily," came the quiet reply. "Okay, Lily. You're safe now. Just a few more minutes, and we'll be at the gas station." But as they approached the familiar intersection, the lights ahead flickered ominously. Suddenly, the radio crackled to life, breaking the oppressive silence. A news report echoed through the speakers, detailing a recent string of disappearances in the area. Young girls who had gone missing late at night, their cases unsolved. Hannah felt a chill run down her spine. "Did you hear that?" she asked, looking at Lily, who had gone deathly pale. "Yeah," Lily whispered. "I saw the news report. I thought it was just rumors." Before Hannah could respond, the headlights illuminated another figure, a man standing in the middle of the road, his arms raised as if to stop them. Panic surged through Hannah. "What do we do?" "Don't stop. Don't let him in," Lily shrieked. Hannah swerved to avoid him, adrenaline pumping. But as they passed, she caught a glimpse of his face. A twisted smile, eyes dark and hollow. He looked familiar. As they sped away, Hannah's heart raced, but something gnawed at her. "Lily, where exactly did you crash?" she asked. "Back at the old bridge," she said, her voice trembling. Hannah's mind raced. "That's where the disappearances started," she murmured. The gas station was just ahead, its bright lights a beacon of hope. As they pulled in, Hannah's heart sank when she saw the gas station attendant, a man with the same haunting smile as the figure in the road. Lily's eyes widened in terror. "We can't stay here." They turned to flee, but as they did, the attendant called out, "You can't escape." In a panic, they bolted back into the car, but the doors wouldn't lock. Hannah slammed her fists against the steering wheel. "What do we do?" Lily's eyes were wild with fear. "Drive. Just drive." As they sped off into the night, the feeling of being hunted was palpable. The growl from the woods echoed in Hannah's mind, and she realized they were not alone. With no idea where to go, they found themselves back on the winding road, but something felt different. The shadows seemed to stretch and twist as if alive. The trees closed in around them, and the air grew colder. Suddenly they heard it, the growl louder and more menacing than before. Hannah glanced at Lily, who was gripping the dashboard, her knuckles white. "We have to get to the bridge," Lily shouted. "Are you crazy? That's where you crashed," Hannah protested. "They can't get us if we face them." With no time to argue, Hannah turned the car around, heading back towards the old bridge. The road was dark and treacherous, and the growling intensified, echoing around them. When they reached the bridge, the moonlight illuminated a nightmarish scene. Figures emerged from the shadows, girls with hollow eyes and twisted faces. Those who had vanished, drawn to something sinister. Hannah's breath caught in her throat. "What do they want?" "They're trapped," Lily cried, her voice breaking. "We need to help them." Hannah gripped the wheel, feeling an overwhelming sense of dread. What if it's a trap? They can't help it. They need to be freed. As the figures surrounded the car, the growling crescendoed, a cacophony of despair. Lily leaned forward, her eyes locked on the figures. "You have to trust me." With a sudden surge of determination, Hannah stepped on the gas, driving towards the bridge's edge. The headlights illuminated the figures, and for a moment, she felt their pain, their yearning for release. But as they reached the bridge, something shifted. The growling turned into whispers, echoing in their minds. "Help us! Free us!" Hannah's heart raced, and with one final push, she slammed on the brakes, sending the car skidding to a halt. "What now?" she yelled, panic flooding her voice. "Get out!" Lily screamed. "We have to break the cycle." With no time to think, Hannah flung open the door and they jumped out. The figures surrounded them, their faces twisted in agony. But as Hannah and Lily held hands, a warmth enveloped them. "Help us!" they whispered, and in that moment Hannah understood. They were trapped in a cycle of fear and pain, and only by confronting the darkness could they find a way out. Together they took a step forward. The growling faded, replaced by a haunting melody that echoed through the air. The figures began to dissolve, their pain lifting like a heavy fog. As dawn broke, the forest around them grew quiet. Hannah and Lily stood on the bridge, breathless and shaken. The air felt lighter, the darkness lifted. Lily turned to Hannah, tears in her eyes.